Alright guys, so we're going to start off this week with a new series, and this is going to be regarding the warm-up for the squat, bench and deadlift. So what we're going to do today is to show you a general warm-up for the squats and how you can prepare better and more efficiently for squatting. Alright, hi guys, this is JJ from Technique Matters. So what we're going to discuss this week is a warm-up routine that the three of us kind of worked out here over at Technique Matters, and the things that we think will help you squat better without wasting your time. So the key with the warm-up routine that we're going to show you now is to help you to save time, help you to create all the necessary range of motion, all the necessary mobility that you need to start training. So one of the things before we start, I would like to emphasize to everyone is that the goal of doing movement prep or any sort of mobility work is so that you can train better and eventually not need to do as much of these things, right? So we should be looking to get you to spend less time warming up and more time doing the things that actually matter, which is training and training hard. So what we're going to do today is a bit different, it's a bit more interesting. We'll show you through some of the things that we do here at Technique Matters to assess if things are working. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to run through a really quick sort of active range of motion test with Clinton helping me, and then we're going to do the drills, and then we're going to see how his active range of motion tests do after the drills. All right, so we want to prove to you that these are the things that you can do very quickly in less than like 10 minutes to get you moving better. The first test that we have, I'll get Clinton to do a knee to chest kind of test, which is testing his hip flexion. So so if Clinton just lies at the edge of the bench, he has both his knees down first, so both his legs down. So what I'm going to do is to get him to bring his knees to his chest, staying in line, right? So Clinton, if you just pull up, if you just pull as high, you can use your hands to pull. Okay, as high as you go, is you can go until you find a restriction. So okay, so that's his left side hip. So you can kind of see it's about maybe slightly past 90 degrees, which is basically as much as he needs to achieve depth. So some of you might struggle with this a little bit more, because if you have less than 90, then obviously you don't have the active range to go into, and that might be problematic because you'll think that you need to stretch and stuff like that. All right, so let's get him to do his right side. So if Clinton, if you just helicopter over so that we can see. So same thing, he's trying to keep his knees in line, and then he's trying to go up. So you can see that it's slightly more limited on his right side. So you can see that it's about 90, slightly below, maybe very small angle. All right, so this is the first test for the hip. So in terms of his hip mobility and stuff, we're looking at it for his squats. So the other key thing that we want to look at for squats, and a lot of people don't think much about, is actually the shoulder as well. So same thing, we're going to get Clinton to do a passive shoulder rotation assessment. So what we're going to do is Clinton is going to go up against the wall. He's going to bring his elbows up to about 90 degrees, and then he's going to try to touch the back of his hand to the wall until he runs into a bit of restriction. So you can see that normal, he should be able to touch the wall. And then on the other side, so try to touch the palm to the wall as well. So he's got pretty good internal rotation actually, but it's a bit lacking in the external rotation. But ideally, you should be able to touch both ends of the wall. So let's do his right side as well. So same thing, if Adam, you come to the side. So same thing if you go to the wall. So you can see similarly it's a bit better on the right side, and then let's do his IR as well. So it's a bit more limited in IR on the right side. So now you guys kind of get a sense of his limitations and stuff. We're gonna very quickly run through the warm-up, and we're gonna run through the warm-up in real time to show you how quickly the changes are, so you don't need to be stretching for like 2 minutes and doing like 5 different exercises. We're going to show you 4 quick really quick exercises, and we're going to take you through it real time. All right, so the first exercise that I would like Clinton to do, and this is something that Clinton already does himself, is let's get him in a wall sit position, so 90-90. All right, so you can see that he's forming a 90 degree here as well as a 90 degree here. So if you are feeling a bit adventurous, you can actually try to break parallel slightly. So if Clinton just drops slightly below, and then I want your back fully on the thing. All right, and what I want you to do is to think about reaching forward like that. Cool, and just try to reach forward without your back peeling off the wall. And what I would like him to do here is just breathe. Take very, so I want you to exhale, open your mouth and just blow out all the air that you can. And then take an inhale through the nose. Two more times. So, all right, so stand up. So that's one set. So we're gonna get him to, you know, reset a bit and then do another set of it. So whenever you're ready, you know, reset. So this time when you breathe out, make sure you, I would like to hear a bit, just wait before, maybe like wait 1 second before you take a breath in as well. And try to relax the neck a little bit. So just try to. So you can see that as he breathes in, he's expanding. And as he breathes out, you can see that his chest actually kind of squeezes down. The key here is you don't want to use too much of your neck. You want it to stay as relaxed as possible. So just one more rep for me. All right, cool. So that's our first exercise. It's a 90-90 wall sit with a forward reach. All right, so the second exercise we're going to do is we're going to move. So we know that Clinton has a bit of side-to-side limitations. So this will help you, some of you who say that, oh, you know, I've got a bit of mobility issues and, you know, imbalances and stuff like that. So the next exercise we're going to do is a, we call it a split squat isometric hold or with a wall reference. So what Clinton's going to do is he's going to get into a split squat position, same forming two 90-degree angles with his back leg pushing into the wall. All right, so if you try to get upright for me, so maybe take a step back, okay, and then go all the way down to the floor, so drop, okay, and then try to get upright for me, okay. So from this position, Clinton's going to do a forward reach as well, and then he's going to just lift his bottom knee just off the floor slightly, and then just do 3 breaths in this position. So what we're gonna be focusing on here is the breathing for sure. That's number one. But the other important thing that we want to do is to make sure that he is not pushing his knees out. His knees should be in line with his toes, and then he's just holding that position. So in that position, what he should be feeling is a bit of glutes. So specifically his glute medius and his inner thighs, right? So why those muscles are important is because when you squat, those are the muscles that will help you to stabilize so that your prime movers like your quads and your glutes can actually move weight rather than have to perform a stabilization as well. So we've done that on one leg. Let's do the other leg as well. So he'll just do that for one more set. And the same thing, he's driving this foot into the wall so that he feels a bit of glute as well. So just lift and reach. So just 2 more breaths. So you can see that he's actually working at the foot as well. His foot is actually, you know, trying to stabilize as well. So good. All right, cool. So the next exercise we're gonna move on from here is we've done a lot of static kind of holds and stuff. That's literally taken us like maybe like 5 minutes or maybe, you know, 2 to 3 minutes depending on, you know, because if Clinton's just doing it on his own, he can just run through it without any sort of coaching and stuff. So the next exercise we're going to do is very relatively simple. We're just going to do a more dynamic sort of exercise. It's just a split squat or lunges, but with a rotational component. All right, so if Clinton just starts at the end of the room over there. So what we're going to have him do is he's just going to lunge, but we want to add a rotational component to it. Why? Because you want to think about loading into each hip as you are moving through. So what I'm going to get Clinton to focus on as he's moving through space is to think about he's going to bring his the elbow on his opposite side of his leading foot to the knee. So he's going to be thinking about turning into the knee of the forward foot. All right. So very simply, he's just going to do maybe 5 steps on each leg. So yeah, cool. And then just do the other leg. Yep. So if you don't have space, you can do it on the spot like that. If you have space, you can even just walk through the room. So let's just, yeah, exactly. So same thing, you should be feeling adductors in the inner thigh as well as the side glute, which is the glute medius, right? So he's just going to do that. And it also, what he should also feel at the same time is also a lot of obliques, because your obliques are actually, you know, kind of anti-rotators, as well as they will help you to pull and stabilize your rib cage position. The key thing that you want to focus on is not to do this when you warm up, all right? And the last exercise that we want to do is just very simply a goblet squat. Just pretty simple, 7 kilos. So Clinton squats like what, 270, and he's just using something very light.
I'm panting already.
Yeah, so literally it is a warm up, right? And he is warming up. So what he wants to do is just take his kind of his natural squat stance. He wants to try and think about spreading his upper back apart. So what a lot of people tend to do is when they squat, they try to drive their shoulders back to think that this is a stable position. So we've spoken on previous Technique Matters video that this will actually compromise a lot of other things like the hip and the core. So we don't want that to happen. So what we want to do is think about spreading the shoulder blades apart and then making this big, right? So that he has a really nice, you can see that his head, his ribs, his hips, his ankles are all in a really good line, okay? So from there, Clinton is just going to maintain this position and try to squat, but while staying as upright as possible, keeping the heels really heavy and just driving the knees forward, all right? So it's very simple. The focus here should be on keeping the core engaged. All right, so just do about 2 more reps for me. Make sure the scaps, the shoulder blades stay apart from each other. And then, cool. All right, so once that's done, we're gonna very quickly, so we're gonna show you the changes. So if we'll do the shoulder first since you're already standing up. So remember how he was lacking a bit to the wall. So let's go and try to, yeah, so it's a bit better, right? And it's you feel like it's a lot less restricted as well. Yeah. Let's check the IR. So it's even better, it's even closer to the wall now. So Adam, if you come over this side, we'll check the other side. So the key thing that I want to say as we're running through these tests to see the changes is that, you know, we want just a little bit of improvement. We don't want like what Clinton has, and then we don't want to give him like suddenly like 10 to 15 more degrees of range of motion, because when he goes to squat, he'll find that it's really, really loose and it's really, really uncomfortable in terms of, you know, what he can actually control. So he might just like drop into a range of motion that, you know, is excessive for him, or a bench press range of motion that's excessive for him and stuff like that. So that in itself is not necessarily the best thing. So let's do his hip, his knee to chest test again. So this was a more restricted side, and you can see that now he's actually breaking parallel as compared to the sort of like 85 degree that he had previously. And then on the other side, if you just spin over, and this one is a very clear sort of improvement from previously, which is about, you know, 92 to, and now it's probably a lot more than that. So this is probably, if I saw this in competition, it's probably quite clean cut with it. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to DM any of us or even comment down below. What we're looking to do at the end of this series is to produce a little sort of warm-up spreadsheet, something that we'll be giving away to you guys. But what we would like from you is to make sure that you like, share and subscribe, as well as comment down below if you are interested in getting it. And once we've finished this series of videos, we'll be coming up with a spreadsheet that will have these warm-up exercises, links to them, how to do them well, as well as what kind of jumps you're taking on your warm-ups. So if you're interested, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and then comment down below that I'm interested, or just comment something and then share it with someone, and follow us on Instagram as well. So that's it for the video this week. We hope that it's something helpful for you guys, and we'll catch you again for the next warm-up series video.